my usual Sunday time slot. Did a CNC tin tournament yesterday. Time slot. And I did quite well. I won't necessarily spoil the results, though, but I figured I would showcase the deck I used for that today. So this is my Storm Tombstone deck, or what I often refer to it as my Pirates of the Caribbean list, or the Black Pearl. We've got obviously Tombstones and Valroth being the stars here. So let's break the deck down a little bit here. So obviously Valroth, he's big dragon, one of the hardest hitting cards in the game, if not the hardest hitting card in the game. Now I'm curious, let's take just a moment to check some of the higher end options here. Yeah, no, I do believe Valroth is just the hardest hitting card in the game. He tends to kill just about whatever he hits, short of maybe another big dragon, but even those, trading just about anything else plus him into it will get the job done. He is a very big boy. And ideally he ends up costing 0 mana, which is a terrifying prospect. So to facilitate that, we are just running all of the cards that generate Storm, which is Cursed Vessel, Typhoon Blast, and Voyager. So that gets us pretty reliably getting Valroth ticking down on those storm counters each turn. And often we can play him for very cheap on curve, and if we wait a little bit longer than that, we can play him for free. And one Valroth is one thing, but it's the second and third one that are usually nigh impossible to deal with. And I've also got a singleton of Draconic Temple, just because we like drawing him and reducing him further, since he is often the deck's main win condition. Now, you can win with zombies and Norbon as well. Yes, hey Valroth is a little bit strong. But generally, you win most of your games with Valroth. But let's talk about the zombie side of things here. So, we're running Honor of Fallen, just an incredible card, like one gold draw a card alone is almost worth playing in general, but the fact that he also entombs stuff, which is really sort of what makes the deck tick here, is invaluable. And not just our stuff, but the enemy's stuff too. Cemetery, of course, the other good way to generate tombstones, aside from Crypt, which we've talked about quite a bit in my very first featured deck here. We'll talk about it more in a moment. But so the thing about Cemetery, though, is you do need to make sure you're running enough Guardians, Knights, and Warriors. 12 seems to be about the right number to me. That gives you enough to usually be able to play 3 Cemeteries, even if you've drawn a couple of your units. So 12 seems to be about the sweet spot to me. So I'm running Warriors for the, entirely. I do like Warriors. They're one of the stronger classes. They're not very fancy, but they do their job well. They're very flexible on offense and defense. Well, there are things that are more specialized, like obviously Guardians and Knights are more on the defensive side, or Warriors are a little more offensive, but I like them. So Banshee, just a solid card, as long as you're careful with the fear, because it's important to make sure you're attacking from the right direction when you fear, because things do fear based on where he dies. They fear away from his square, if he's in front or behind. And now, it is random if he's attacking from the flank, the top or the bottom. So you got to be a little bit careful with that. But phenomenal defensive card, and can push some stuff away and take the pressure off. And then we've got Rusty Hooks. It's just Really, really strong warrior card. You know, not quite as much damage as Scout, but not far behind. And that extra little bit of range lets him do all kinds of fancy things, repositioning enemy units. And if you put something between him and an enemy unit, he gets a free attack, and they don't get to counterattack. Scout, of course, you know, just one of the best 2-drops in general. Not fancy, but really does its job well. And lastly, Voyager, one of our storm generators. Now, I've got Drain Life in here just because sort of aggro and burn can be a little bit of a tough matchup for the list. So between Drain Life, a bunch of early warriors, and Dracula, we can usually fend off an aggro list. They are still tougher matchups, but I've prepared the deck as well as we can for it. Then our other storm generator, being Typhoon Blast. Just pure mana damage is not usually something you really want to run. Like if we were running it for the storm, which we're a little desperate to have as much as we can get our hands on. But that being said, while 2 mana may be expensive for a damage card, the fact that it doesn't cost any gold is really cool, because it lets you do some things when your opponent is not expecting you to have an answer. So it's a solid card. And ultimately, this deck is extremely mana light, because if you count on Vileroth costing 0, which he usually does, you know, that's dropping your mana count down to math. 16, so plenty of spare mana to throw around Typhoon Blast without having to worry about it too much. Let's see here. Alright, so Grave Robbery. This is pretty much the reason to play Tombstones in Pirates. Just this card is incredible because you can, aside from just being great card advantage, creating skeletal crewmen who can be entombed and turned into zombies again. Some people think that's weird flavor-wise, which I can sort of understand, but you know, hey, if you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, whether it's day or night depends whether they are fleshy or more skeleton-like, so I can get behind it. I'm good with it either way. But the other big thing about this is it lets you recycle important units, like getting extra Vileroths off of this card, or even an extra Norbon. That can be pretty wild. Not to mention, with Honor of the Fallen, you can always snag something from your opponent, too. But that does, if you're playing extra Vileroths or you're playing extra Norbons, that can eat into your mana a little bit more, which is all the more reason to keep the mana count on this deck really low. Cursed Vessel is our last storm generator here, and it is an extremely good card. You know, summoning 3 skeletons, which are pretty dang strong for level 1 units, for 2 gold, and making a storm is phenomenal. And not to mention, again, those hordes of skeletons can turn into zombies, which, especially if you have a crypt down on the field, it is really hard to break through your wall of skeletons and zombies, which I rather enjoy. So it's a really strong deck. Okay, there's always, of course, Norbon and Crypt as really our main ways to make use of Tombstones aside from Grave Robber. And I believe that covers everything in the list here. It's really strong. It tore up the tournament and the ladder as well, so let's go try to grab a couple games with it. So now we just wait for an opponent. Now I can always practice versus AI if we really need to showcase things quickly and we don't get an opponent real quick, but usually between quick match and auto match you can find somebody pretty quick. I suppose I probably could have queued up on this while talking about the deck, because I did go over that rather extensively. Yeah, I think we covered every single card. So, I suppose we didn't talk about Dracula, not that there's too much to be said. He's just big old flying lifesteal drain essence unit. You know, he transforms your castle. He's a phenomenal way to stave off an early aggression and heal your castle back up. And Dracula's castle does all kinds of nifty things too, including having a ranged attack. All structures, well, all abilities in general, which this is closer to an ability than an attack. We've got our batch closer to an ability than attack. Has a default range of 2. Alright, so anytime we open, we're looking for one of 2 things. We want either a crypt or a storm generator. And on a scale of Artifact to Duelist, I actually think this game is slightly better than Duelist. It's still in early access, and even then, I do believe it is going to surpass Duelist in its prime. And I love Duelist. I played Duelist for many, many years. I've been at the top of the Duelist ladder. I helped out a bit in some of the revival project early on. And after that got picked back up by CPG, I moved on to this, and I've done a ton of the alpha testing for this game and a lot of quality assurance, and I am extremely impressed with it. So I do hope folks will come check it out from the Duelist crowd. I've really been having a good time with it. So, unfortunately, okay, we did get our storm. We didn't get a crypt, but we got a storm. Now, we prefer seeing the Cursed Vessel, but we will take it. Like, anytime we can get storm running early, we're in good shape. And we even have a Vile Wrath in hand. Not that you usually, really want a Vile Wrath in your opening hand, but I'm happy to replace into him when we also have a storm generator. That way he will come out on curve and do what he does. So Val's dropped down a knight here, which I definitely don't want to attack since it's going to be taking that major reduced damage if I attack it from the front. So now I've got 2 options. I can either pull the Banshee back a little bit so it doesn't take any damage from the Paladin, or I can move into, threaten his tower. Well, that's the plan here. I don't really mind if he gets some mostly free damage on the Banshee, because usually Banshee's job is to just die. Actually, I have already made a mistake. I should not have moved him up there. I should have killed that to get the storm going and then gotten a free shot on castle. But I got too distracted talking to folks, and that's alright. It's a small mistake. I doubt that 6 damage on castle is going to make a huge difference here. Everything's going well on my end here. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so Val's definitely running a bit of a knight package here. Going for red-yellow knights. Interesting. It's a solid color. I mean, all the color combinations are quite viable in this game. I'm just wondering what his aim is here. So you usually run Crusaders when you want some more defensive stuff and healing, and you usually want red when you either want to do aggro or if you just want strong spell answers. So not entirely sure what he's up to over here, but it's solid colors in general. Let's see here. So we don't really have anything to play. We've got 2 options. Once the combat phase rolls around, we can do Drain Life, or we can do a Mana Tower. Sorry, Val. I'm trying to explain to the viewers what's going on here. Oh, he's being a good cookie, and he isn't sniping on the stream either. So we could likely kill this with Drain Life. We might be a tiny bit short, though. I think I am going to go ahead. Well, obviously, basically, if you want to play Solomon the High, you want to play Warlock Ninjas, and that is, or red purple. Like red has burn spells. Ninjas have assassins and backstab shenanigans. So the red-purple combination is basically, it pretty much is Songhai. Now you'll notice, if you know me much from Duelist, you will know that I detest Burn. I pushed pretty hard to make sure Burn was very hard to use as a direct plan. You'll notice the castles have 60% spell resist. Anyways, so I better actually take my turn here so Val doesn't just quit on me. He's already been very patient putting up with how slow I'm going here. Alright, looks like we're going to have just enough damage to kill this cleric if we sneak in from the back here. So that's the plan. Now the game is buy to play. It is $20 while it's in early access. With that being said, it's using like the Faria model. There are no microtransactions. You will have like a 100% full collection in like a week. But it is very much worth the investment. Highly recommend. Anyway, so pretty cut and dry turn. We're going to play Voyager here in Threaten Castle with it. We're still hoping to see a crypt soon. But, you know, we're pretty happy that we've got our storm rolling for Vile Wrath. Yeah, so I think it's going to be pretty obvious. Just go punch this castle. And I do need to be careful where I place this Banshee. Because if I place it over on the back end and he kills it from here, it'll send his movements, his units running towards my side. But I'm not too worried about that. We'll just go punch the Mana Tower. And we'll call that good. If he does kill it off here, both these units will lose a level from his ability there. So that works for us. Oh yeah, we've got 2 Vile Wraths. We're in pretty good shape. Now we, again, don't have much of a play this turn, but we can plop down our Draconic Temple to get a 3rd Vile Wrath and cheapen these boys even further, so that when the 7 gold turn runs around, we are just going to start steamrolling with our big boys here. Well, which is usually how this deck wins, because Vile Wrath is a little bit insane right now. Let's see here. So I can either kill the Paladin or the Smithy. A little bit of a tough choice there, but I think we're going to go for the Paladin. The Smithy is going to continue to generate value, though, but I don't... Well, actually, I'm going to have initiative next turn, so I will have the opportunity to do both. But I'm going to start with the Paladin, just so he doesn't have any opportunity to heal it up or do anything along those lines here. So we're on the 6 gold turn. We don't have a great play. I don't usually like playing Norbon just sort of vanilla like this. I usually like to play him at the same time. I've got some tombstones on 7 gold, but without a better play, that's what we're gonna go for. And he is just a solid bucket of stats with short range attacks, so that works for us. All right, so I can either. I think I'm going to kill the priest in the back with my Voyager here, since this flying unit does not block my pathing. So let's go kill that priest and that blacksmith before it can buff up that furnace knight. Now, unlike Duelist, your facings are very important here. You'll notice that knights take a bunch less damage if attacked directly from the front, so it's very important to flank or backstab them. Some units don't care nearly as much, like a mage doesn't really have any strong or weak points on any particular side, but they do also have the ability to attack at short range and avoid counterattacks, which makes them solid. But because of that, they do tend to have weaker stats as well. So Joan-Vive, it's a very sneaky card, steals the combat initiative, basically skipped my turn by playing it when he did. Which means, we don't have much to do with our resources this turn. Joan-Vive, her stats are a bit weak for, her level and mana cost, but, the ability to either get an instant attack or basically make your opponent skip a turn is pretty crazy. So, I do believe it is time to just start with our big old Vileroth plan. It's so there is a very small range on unit damages here. It's not large enough to generally make any sort of difference when it comes to trading. Like that, 2 or 3 damage range on a unit doesn't really tend to come into play much when you're trading. The reason it's there is it makes it a lot easier. So there's an execute mechanic. When units are wounded, they deal less damage. And also, when they get really low on health, if they get like around the 2% health range, they will get executed by an attack. And also, this attack range will round up if it would be lethal. Basically, this makes it so you don't end up in those annoying situations where units are running around with a single point of health, or, you mess up your math. And basically, they wanted to design the game in a way that you wouldn't have to sit there and do a bunch of math and a bunch of calculations. You could just sort of look at these health bars really quick and have a quick estimation. Like you can see I'm hovering over Vileroth, it'll show that if he attacks the knight above him, he'll kill him, but if he attacks the knight in front here with its defensive spot, it'll only do a little bit of damage. So that tiny bit of attack range assists the execute mechanic, so that it's very easy to estimate when 2 things will kill a unit or not. But it's a small enough range that it doesn't really ever impact the trading. It's not like, yay, I did 1 extra damage on my attack, now I'm going to win. It's just to help make the math side of things a little bit easier. So anyways, we're just going to keep on going. I'm going to go ahead and play a crypt here. Keep on going with our Vileroth plan. Now, he's probably going to be smart and kill that tombstone before I have any chance to use it. I don't actually want to use the crypt on it. Like, one of this deck's favorite tricks is using grave robbery to recycle and get multiple uses out of Vileroth here. So, tombstones don't block pathing, so I can walk past it and kill that blacksmith, which is probably my best bet here. Yeah, we're just going to do that. We're going to walk past it, kill that blacksmith, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope he doesn't kill this tombstone, although he probably will. Like, Val's a pretty decent player, so he is not liable to leave that tombstone sitting around for me. But that's okay. So we're just going to go ahead and plop down our 3rd Vileroth, which is going to be pretty hard to come back from. I think we'll throw down in honor of the fallen as well. I don't think he's going to be able to kill my Vileroth this turn, but I want to make sure I get a grave robbery off for the next time a Vileroth dies. Well, no matter what, we're going to play this honor of the fallen. Okay, so I think I'm just going to sit on my last 2 points of gold here. Then in case he does surprise me and kill the Vileroth, I'll have enough to play the grave robbery. And if he doesn't kill the Vileroth, I can just play another Honor of the Fallen, as well as use Crypt's ability to make a zombie off of one of the things I kill here. But yeah, as you can see, Red, he's been playing lots of burn spells and area of effect things, and these Furnace Knights make his runes, aka most spells. Hey, Mine Lord, thanks for stopping by. And he's playing Eye of Flame, which is this sort of artillery engine that can attack anywhere on the game, or anywhere on the board. It's pretty much the only unit-like thing that's got unlimited range, but it does take till the end of the round to go off. Rituals are powerful effects, but they're a little bit slow. Yeah, so it's combat phase time. I think it's time to just go start beating up on that castle. Yeah, let's go. Actually, first I'm going to kill one of these knights here. That way I can get my tombstone. Right, he cast a defensive shield on that, so I can't kill that one. So I'm going to kill this, make a zombie, and now we're going to move in here and get going on that big damage here. Yeah, poor Val. I've been taking like hour-long turns, and I played 3 Vile Roths. He's been a good sport for the most part, but I could understand his frustration. I had a pretty dang good hand. Now, he is going to be on the combat turn here, so he will likely be able to kill at least the one Vile Roth. And my other one's in pretty dangerous territory, too. I've gotten pretty low on health, but this deck doesn't have a lot of reach either. I sort of gotta kill him properly. But if all goes well, which it looks like it will here, then I will get to grave robbery at least one, if not both, of those Vile Roths, which will be devastating since I'll get another chance to play them. Anyways, let's throw down this ritual, just get it going, and then let's play a few knights here. Or, well, not knights, warriors. Probably should have played the Rusty Hooks. Now, I do want to make sure I save enough for grave robbery. Do I want to play the Rusty Hooks? Yeah, let's play the Rusty Hooks as well. That gives us just enough leftover gold to play either the Grave Robbery or use Crypt. Not both, but that's okay. Because really we probably don't want to be using Crypt right now, we just want to get maximum Grave Robbery value. Okay, well, I'm glad you stopped by, and thanks for stopping by as well. I've never figured out how to pronounce her name. Baki Sun-kun? I don't know. I've seen it around a lot, but never have figured out how to pronounce it. Okay, so he killed the one Vile Roth. We expected that. Let's just, for fun, actually, yeah, first I'm going to kill this. And then I'm going to Grave Robbery, just so you guys can see what it does. So it'll turn those tombstones into skeletons, which is pretty strong as it is, but more importantly, we got that Vile Roth back again. But let's stop BMing and finish this game with the warrior we put down now. Yeah, he got a little bullied. This deck is... I've brought it up as it's probably a bit too strong, especially after its tournament performance there. Let's see, we're running out of opponents at the moment, but I'm sure we'll get a few folks on here. So throw up the auto match, throw up the quick match, and I'll go pester folks in Discord to play as well. Game has only been out for less than 2 weeks now. It's got a pretty solid player base for that, considering there's usually around 20 folks on at a time. You can always throw a call out in the Discord to get more people, and folks are quickly trickling in since this is a sequel to the original game, which does still have a large active player base. So I'm going to go bother folks on the Discord to hopefully get us another match here, since I seem to have scared away my other opponents, and Val has had enough of dealing with that deck. Val, just reading some of the Discord here, Val is not pleased with with me getting to summon 3, very nearly 4 Vileroths there. I have commented a little bit on the Discord and hopefully drummed us up some players here, but I may have scared folks away a bit after bringing this tournament deck back onto the ladder here. Good. I think both Beastly and Val are getting back on, so we're not alone here. And if there is, well, I do try to focus on one deck per stream. If there is anything you all want to see or want to talk about with the list or with the game's mechanics or what have you, feel free to let me know. Or if there's a deck you want to have me showcase for next week, just leave a comment. We should get a match any moment here. Discord's quite active. I recommend going to hang out there. Let me drop a link for those that may not have it. Why would you want me to play Mono Muck? It is not a true deck that I mean, I guess I could. I'm certainly not this stream, but I do not believe that is a very viable thing to do. But the game is more skill-based than cards, so I'm sure I could pull it off if folks really wanted to see that. But anyways, let's get back to our current hand here. I'm going to keep the Crypt, because, you know, as always, we want a Crypt and Storm. That is what we're looking for. Hey, we got exactly what we, well, almost exactly what we wanted. Ideally, oh, okay, now we have exactly what we wanted. We have a Cursed Vessel and a Crypt. Like, those are the two cards you want to see in your starting hand. And everything else is solid, too. Beastly is on Necromancers and Ninjas, which could mean, it most likely means either rats or aggro. The fact that he's played a School of History points me towards rats. The reason why him playing a single structure hints at rats is just because they have a card that summons extra rats based on the amount of structures you have on the field. So School of History doesn't see a ton of play outside of those rats. So, now, that being said, it is a solid card. There are decks it can fit into, just as a solid, reliable draw engine that comes down on turn 1. But, to me, the fact that he's playing that and ninjas, that just screams rats. So, got our Storm going, got bodies on the field, we've got Crypt down, which means we're going to get even extra mileage out of these Skeletal Crewmen, since they will leave a tombstone when they die. So we are in very good shape. We have basically the perfect open here. We even have a few spell answers if he plays something obnoxious in the back line or flying or what have you. Now we just have to hope we see some Vileroths in the not too distant future, but you know, we've still got 6 turns to find one, and with 40-card decks that have good draw and deck thinning, and I have effectively 4 copies of Valroth if you count the temple that draws one, it is pretty likely we will find one when we need it. So, looks like Beastly's just trying to dig to find something. No play even on the 3 gold turns, a little bit rough, but that's okay. You don't usually end up having truly wasted turns, that you can always sink your excess gold into making a little extra mana or using the School of History. So we're approaching on with our skeletons, and we're just sort of waiting to see what happens here. Headless Horseman's a cool card. I always want to find room for it, but I almost never do. But incredibly powerful way to zone control and defend, since fear makes things run away 1 faster than their movement, and since it does it every single combat turn, it is very hard to engage that thing. So we're just going to throw down some more warriors here. I probably should have saved at least 1 gold for the script, but this is fine since I'll be on initiative next turn, so. I do rather like Headless. He is a very cool card. I mean, my favorite card is probably Norabon. Like, I love him, but Headless Horseman is really cool. I wish I found room for him more often. So, gonna go smack the Horseman and smack the tower, and then immediately Horseman is going to make everything run away again. Yeah, I don't have quite enough, so I'm just going to pass. Going to pass mechanic has a lot of nuance to it. So basically, so summon phase, you get to summon stuff. It's pretty self-explanatory. The person that has the sword or initiative gets to go first. And they put their units down, and then the person that has initiative will get to take the first 2 actions in combat. Whereas the person that doesn't here, by the Voyager, to generate Storm. I'm running Valroth. That is this deck's entire thing. It's Storm Tombstones. Well, not really Storm. Like, Valroth's the only Storm payoff card I have. But that being said, Valroth's all we need. So Voyager gives us a warrior to bury with Cemetery, and gives us Storm Generation, which is what we care about here. So we're going to be on initiative here. Yes, Beastly has come as a sacrifice to Valroth, and alright. I mean, Voyager is just a strong card in general. Gives me another warrior for Cemetery, and I want as much Storm as I can get, especially if we're in like a Blizzard matchup. We want to make sure we're going to come out ahead on the Storm. Alright, so we want to save at least 1 gold for Crypt here. I think I will play a Rusty Hooks, because he should be able to get a free attack off of on that Horseman. And then I have to decide between, do I want to save a little bit of gold for Drain Life here, or do I want to drop a Banshee? I don't think we really need to be saving for Drain Life here. Let's just keep the unit pressure going right now. And we'll just save just enough gold for Crypt. Besides, if we need a spell answer, we've got Typhoon. Alright, so let's proceed with the plan here. Let's go punch that, and then let's go use Hook's extra little bit of range to get a free hit here. Now, Hook is a little bit awkward. If you don't have something between him and his target, he will pull it 1 space closer, and then it will get its counterattack. So Yeah, that's usually the best way to use them is, put something between him and his target and attack that way so there's no counterattack. But the ability to move a unit somewhere where you want it to go is also quite good. Gonna move some. Yeah, let's pass. Let's make him use some actions here. So Beastly's been. I've been trying to explain the pass mechanic. It's a little complicated. Anyway, so you finish summon phase. If you've got initiative, you then go first after your opponent finishes his summoning responses. You then normally get to take 2 actions, and then it trades over to your opponent, and the opponent gets to take 2 actions. However, if you pass rather than using all of your actions, the opponent gets to make as many actions as they feel like before passing back. But I'm still trying to force him to bring these up. However, if your opponent passes twice without taking any actions, then you'll get the opportunity to end combat. Or, of course, if they run out of actions. So he's currently trying to, bait my stuff forward before moving his Kai Juniors. And I'm trying to get him to move his Kai Juniors before I move in. But now that he's passed twice, okay. I guess he is still going to get an opportunity. Right, so as you've seen, I've gotten the option to end combat, but because I keep moving a unit, and then that changes it from if I take an action, then it passes back to him. Okay, well, he's passed again, so now we're just going to go ahead and end this. So these Kai Juniors are neat. They're a little bit weak base, but they're basically, they're better than immune to spells. They heal from spells and get stronger, friendly or enemy. So my spell answers aren't going to be helpful versus them, but I do have a pretty overwhelming field presence, as well as crypt here. Alright, I think we're just going to be dropping a Voyager to... so this Magic Eater's an assassin. He gets double damage when he attacks from behind. As I've mentioned, facing is really important. As you can see, facing isn't just static like it was in Duelist. Like, it changes based on the direction things are moving or are attacked from. Okay, so Decay. This is a really strong card in the right deck here. Because it just deals damage to everything on the field, including his units that get stronger when damaged by spells. So, and Magic Eater too. Yeah, this is the dedicated absorb list, which is really great. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Kami. So, basically, it's doing a pretty crazy turn here. He very well may actually turn this game around, because he is about to devastate my field with that spell, which does a little bit of damage each combat turn, and more importantly is going to super buff all his units, of which oh boy, yeah, there goes my stuff. So let's start by hitting that. Alright, let's kill this Magic Eater off before it gets too dangerous here. Given he only grows once, unlike... Oh, Beastly appears to have passed. He really probably should have spent his actions, that way I couldn't take just some unlimited turns here. And I probably should have saved my Tombstone to... I probably should have attacked that in this one. Yeah, so there goes my board, but they, Beastly's realizing he messed up when he didn't take an action earlier. He missed out on a lot of potential procs there, but we're okay. We're in decent shape. Since these tombstones were generated after he played that, they're safe from the decay. I'm actually in a little bit of trouble. This Typhoon Blast is getting him some extra procs, and I lost my crypt too. That's definitely going to hurt. Yeah, he's made a big swing back here. Like, these Kai Juniors have really pumped up from that spell, not to mention the number he did on my field. And now that I've lost crypt, I'm in a bit of trouble. But we can go ahead and grave robbery these, make some skeletons, and that'll also let us to be fair, it does hit his board too, which is normally a really bad thing, but Kai Juniors take big advantage of it. It also costs mana, so it's a very expensive spell. That Absorb list is pretty much the only place that I like running it. As you can see, it destroyed his mana tower, damaged his castle, and if his units didn't have that fancy absorb trick, they would have been beat up by it too. But yeah, no, it's an incredible combo with those Kai Juniors and other absorb units. But it's usually not strong enough to play outside of that. Alright, yeah, so these Kai Juniors are really big. I think first things first, I'm going to kill this monkey here, get that out of the way. And now it's time to start trying to take these Kai Juniors down before they keep growing out of control here. I don't know if I really want to trade in with the skeleton right now. I do want to damage these before they get stronger, but I'd like another opportunity to get a crypt down or something before I trade my skeletons. Ooh, Wisdom Teeth is no fun. Alright, no, I think we're just going to trade just because we really don't want to give that Kai Jr. any more opportunities than it's already going to get to grow. And my spell answers are not doing me any favors right now. He's definitely made a big swing around there, and we still haven't seen any of our major win conditions like Valroth or Norabon yet. And I could play these cemeteries just to thin my deck out, which I probably will, since I really just don't have much else I can do on this turn. And I'll drop a Rusty Hooks, which will hopefully be able to kill one of these Kai Juniors. And we'll probably play some cemeteries just to thin our deck down and get some more tombstones going. Ideally, we can place the cemetery in between Rusty Hooks and Kai Jr. so we get that free trade. But, yeah, him running pretty much exclusively Absorb units has been making my spell removal not particularly useful this round. Oh yeah, I'm very impressed with it. Ooh, yep, he's playing one of the really big damage spells on his own unit there. This way it will get buffed up and heal a little bit as well. Yeah, I don't really have a way to respond to that. I suppose I could cast a cemetery now, which, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and do that. So, cemetery will take... Ooh, there's one of my Valorals. Alright, we're in good shape. So we've thinned the deck down. I need to go ahead and punch this while it's still lower on health. And nothing else to do other than play another cemetery, really. I'm going to use it to try and protect my mana tower a bit here. So next turn we've got our choice between Dracula and Vileroth. We'll probably just be playing the Vileroth. Get our big boy going here. He should be plenty big enough to kill that Kai Jr., even with it having pumped up as much as it did. Hey, and we got a crypt follow-up. Very cool. Alright. Vileroth time. And I do want to play this crypt, but I don't want to risk it dying either. And if I play it, he's just going to go kill with that guy Jr. So we're just going to have to sit on crypt for now. Because I don't want to lose it. Crypt is too important to play recklessly. He's definitely putting up a real good fight here, you know. He wiped my board, he got his big Kai Juniors, but unfortunately Vileroth is just a bit of an insane card right now. I have been pushing for a small nerf on it. Ooh, Caster. Yeah, I can give stealth, but as that's a combat ability, he's not going to have the opportunity to stealth before I can finish that Kai Jr. off. Probably just be playing a Typhoon Blast just to clean up that fat bard. We'll start with the Typhoon Blast just to get that out of the way, and then we'll clean up the largest of the juniors here. Although he was big enough to take a pretty good chunk out of my Vileroth, and now he's just going for my face, which is a pretty good plan. And I don't really have enough resources to do anything else this turn. I do have a Drain Life, which can heal my castle, so I've got a little bit more cushion than it may look like. Really liked, and I've also got Dracula. Yeah, I'm in pretty good shape all around, because I'll drop the Dracula to clean up these annoying Kai Juniors in the back while I march my Vileroth forward to aim to take out his castle here. So, time to drop Dracula. And I do want to play a crypt, but it's still just too dangerous to play my crypt right now, because he will definitely kill it if I do. So we're just going to save our gold for the Drain Life, and we'll play crypt next turn when we have initiative. That being said, the Aggro Absorb deck is another one of the very top tier lists. Now, not necessarily the black version, but like the red-purple Aggro Absorb is a bit of a monster. Using my tombstones against me there to protect his Kai Jr. So we're going to go ahead and just kill off this mage before it causes us any more problems and start marching our Vileroth towards killing off that castle. And thanks to my spell removal in hand and having initiative next turn, it's not likely he can stop this Vileroth at this point, although he may. He does have a few more stealth rats there that'll get do some more damage, but I will also have the ability to drain life to heal Vileroth instead. Ooh, he missed his backstab. Ouch. Yeah, if he'd gotten that... might have actually killed Vileroth, but now we're just going to go ahead and heal Vileroth back up. Is there anything we want to target in particular? Yeah, let's go ahead. Just target Castle, heal Vileroth back up. This way, he will almost certainly still be able to kill that castle. Oops, I forgot to attack with Dracula's castle. Vileroth number 2. Yeah, Beastly is realizing he missed his backstab. He very well might have been able to kill that Vileroth had he paid attention to his spacing, but he missed that backstab. Yeah, this is looking like game over now. There's not much he can do to stop Vileroth coming in to trade. Like, he can try to put body blockers down, but I have this Vileroth here, which can kill anything he puts in the front. And I also have a spell removal for good measure. It's looking pretty well over here. If he can get another body blocker... Well, no, because Typhoon Blast does do enough to destroy that, so even a second body... Oh, interesting. He Shadow Warded his cast. He should have Shadow Warded this school. That way I couldn't just blast it. But it looks like he just didn't have another body block anyways. Alright, I have a new challenger. Looks like he is perhaps bringing a mirror. It's at least the same colors that I'm running. I wonder if he's doing the same game plan. Alright, so as usual, we want to dig for our crypt and our storm. Now, Salahar Voyager is not the ideal storm that we want to see, but I will take it as a for sure thing. Like, I want to make sure I do have Storm in my opening hand. Okay, we got Crypt and we got Storm. Not the early Storm that we usually want, but we're doing alright. We don't have much in the way of early units, which isn't good, but, you know, at least we won't miss our turn 2 play, thanks to Crypt here. Let's throw down a Fencer, just a solid Guardian unit that gives a lot of turret to being attacked. Could be. He's certainly not running the exact same deck as me, since I don't run Fencer. But we'll see what happens beyond that. So Guardians, you very specifically want to backstab, since they always take extra damage from getting hit in the back. Well, they don't take extra damage, but they take less damage from getting hit everywhere else. And I don't mind, and again, if you kill that Banshee, it will do some mean things to the stuff that's around it. Yeah, and so Storm's coming on a little later than we like it to, but still early enough since we have the Salahar. And Salahar will also just give us a good play for the turn. Most importantly, just going to keep that crypt safe here. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's a mirror. Not entirely sure what he's running. He's just running some good stuff units and a little bit of treasure here. And a mana tower. That's okay. Alright, so I think I do probably just want to rebuild my mana tower. And then we'll play in Honor of the Fallen, draw a card, see what that does for us, and not a whole lot. So since we played in Honor of the Fallen, we'll be able to entomb one of his units, and then we can raise it with Crypt. So I believe the plan will be to go forth, kill the Slayer, turn him into a zombie. Maddie. So, yep. Plan hasn't changed. Well, the only thing that's changed now is rather than coming after the snipe, I'm going to go beat up on that sniper, because, you know, long range for attack. Got to keep the pressure on it. 4 range, so it can attack units up to 4 spaces away. But because it has such long range, it cannot defend itself in melee at all. While I am losing my Crypt for opting that play, I have a backup, so not too worried. Alright, so he's definitely going to kill my Crypt, so I know that's going to happen. I could play a Dracula, but he's going to get sniped a bit by Maddie if I do that. I think I'm just going to play my second Crypt. Viral is rather expensive this go-around since I didn't get that early storm. Yeah, we're just going to plan for a Crypt Cemetery. Not ideal. Now we could play the Voyager instead, just to get some extra power on the field. But my mana is a little precious right now. If I do that, then I won't get the Crypt. But no, I think we are going to go for the Voyager. I want to be able to get some more damage done here. We'll have initiative next turn, so we can always do Tombstone shenanigans then. That is a big Doormaster. He's doing pretty well. I've had a little bit of a slower start here. It's time to just kill that off. It's been causing too many problems in the back line there. Ah, that was a nice play from him. He cleared the Tombstone with Maddie and then got that backstab off of the Thief, which gives him a little bit of ramp for the next turn. Alright, so I could go for Norabon, but I already have a... He's gonna... Yeah, Norabon's probably my best bet. It's just a little rough with that Doormaster. Knights are a bit hard on mages. They don't have the mana for Valroth. And while I could play Dracula, maybe I will just play Dracula so I can deal with that sniper here. Yeah, I think that's the play. I'll play Dracula to clean up the sniper. And then I will crypt up one of these tombstones. Don't really need Norabon right now. Yeah, alright. Dracula appears to be the plan. So we'll do shit. He missed a Doomship. It's definitely a spooky card. Alright, so we know we're making Tombstone here. We know we're going to come over and kill this Maddie. I ran a little bit farther back because this way, if he wants to shoot Dracula, he has to pull the Doomship back rather than advancing on its slow march of death here. It's very important to block the Doomship from advancing into this square, because once it gets into castle range, it is a really bad deal. But Thanks to Doormaster, though. It's really hard to keep things from... Yeah, it seems like he's just playing sort of a good stuff deck here. It's doing pretty well, but the clock is ticking as Vileroth is getting cheaper every turn. Alright, so thanks to the fear on this Doormaster, it's going to be really hard for me to stop that Doom Ship from advancing. This turn's going to hurt. Ooh, is that Dracula? Am I going to lose to some random good stuff jank? That'd be kind of neat. Like, I like just seeing good stuff do well. Alright, so I want to protect my crypt. And I also want to protect... Oh, yeah, no, my hand's looking a little awkward right now. Pretty much Voyager seems to be my only play. Yeah, I don't really have any hope of blocking the Doom Ship's advance, so instead I'm just going to try to protect my crypt a little bit longer. Yeah, I might actually be in a little bit of trouble. Like, Doom Ship Doormaster combo's pretty brutal. But I think I'll be okay since I have a Dracula down. Vileroth will be able to clean up a Doom Ship in a few turns here. I do have a Drain Life as well. I think I'll be alright. But he's definitely putting the pressure on. Yeah, Doom... Oh, God, yeah. Ouch. That hurts a lot. I can't afford to let this Dracula get on my face, but I think I'll be... Okay, so I should be able to kill that. No matter what, I'm making a zombie, so we know that's happening. Can't afford to let that Dracula get on my face. Yeah, okay, I think I need to block the Doom Ship's advance. Or no, block the Dracula's advance. Then hit the Dracula to get a little bit of healing going. And I'll be cleaning up that Doormaster with my zombies. And then I'll have to decide between wanting to make some mana or playing Drain Life. Probably want to make some mana because I need to get that Vileroth out soon to deal with that Doom Ship. I damaged my zombies just enough that it's now going to take both of them to finish off this Doormaster, but that's okay. That is very much worthwhile. Alright, so I need to... Tough calls here. I need the mana more than the Drain Life. Yeah, I need the mana, because I'm also probably going to need to pull my... Well, Dracula's castle has the ability to move for the cost of some gold and mana, which I am probably going to need to do to just not die to Doom Ship. This is a really cool match. This random, good stuff janky deck is the most trouble I've had yet. I think I'll still pull this off, because, Vileroth is coming soon. Okay, so Vileroth... Alright, I have no choice but to pull my castle back right now. Because I just die to Doom Ship if I don't do that. So that's happening 100%. And then it's just a question of what to do with the rest of my resources here. Right. We'll play another fall and draw a card, see what that gets us. Not really what we're hoping for. We're definitely going to be playing Drain Life to clean off I think our first combat action will be to drain life the Dracula, which will heal our castle, and then we should be able to kill his Dracula with our own. Which will give us, so if we play 3, 4, 5, 6, I think do I play Cursed Vessel or do I play Cemetery? I think I'll play the so 3 from Drain Life, 2 from Cemetery, 1 from Crypt. That's 6. Alright, so we cannot afford to play the Cursed Vessel right now, so I need that deck then from the Cemetery. Just so I'm more likely to draw more Vile Wraths and Drain Lives here. Yeah, there's some big pressure right now. I think I'm okay, because Vile Wrath will be coming very soon, and first things first, let's Drain Life the Dracula to heal up our castle. And then let's clear off that Dracula before it causes any more problems. Doomship only having a single movement. Well, he's cleaned off my Dracula now. Alright, so we're going to play the Cemetery just as a defensive measure for our little castle here. And I think we'll go ahead and zombie up over here, since we want to kill off this Ranger. Let's see, next turn we need to make sure we have a body block here, because otherwise Doomship will just come forward and kill us. Which I think we'll be able to play Vile Wrath. Because we'll be on 10 gold, 1 mana, which will give us exactly enough to play Vile Wrath. Alright, so that'll be our plan for next turn. So we can afford to come forward and expose that space. Man, a real nail-biter of a match. Dracula is the only reason I'm alive at all. The ability to pull my castle back a smidge there is the only reason I didn't just die to that Doomship. Yeah, so when you don't get that early storm, Vile Wrath is not nearly as devastating. He is definitely a little bit of a high roll card. Like, if you get early storm, it is pretty dang hard to contest. But if you don't, it takes a lot longer to come online. But now, now we should be safe. We'll be cleaning up this Doomship and our castle. And okay, even if he did get into range, I've healed castle up enough that I'm doing all right. That was a real nail biter for a while there. And then next turn we'll be able to get the Norabon play. So we'll get to change all those tombstones into zombies here. Swinging it around now, but ooh, that was tight for a while. Figured I may as well trade the zombie, because otherwise he's just going to die to the sniper. Yeah, he's doing his best to clean up my tombstones, which is definitely the right play. I believe this turn is just going to be the Norabon turn. So do that. We want to make sure we play Norabon in a safe position. You can hover over units to see where their threat ranges are. So we can see that this space behind this tombstone is safe. He's out of range of everything. We have just enough gold to use his ability to transform all of these tombstones. Then we've also got the Cemetery follow-up for next turn. Hey, he's just playing a good stuff deck. Cool. So I think we're just going to get this zombie out of the way so I can kill that with Vile Wrath. I'm going to throw it up here just to threaten that mana tower. come forward. Coming forward with Valroth does mean he's going to get free shot on with the sniper, but Valroth's a beefy boy, we're not too worried about it. At this point, Valroth wasn't played to win the game here. Yeah, it's very, very... Norbon is my other legendary here. That is his big thing. He is my favorite card. That is the big reason why you can't afford to leave tombstones sitting around, because eventually Norbon will show up, and if you left a bunch of tombstones around rather than killing them, they're very easy to kill. They've got all of 10 health, so just about anything one-shots them. Time to move the zombies up here. But yeah, I love me some Norbon tombstones. There's a lot of counterplay. Like, the tombstones are very easy to kill, and as long as you don't let the tombstones build up, Norbon doesn't really do much. But if you leave them sitting around, he will show up and change things rather drastically very quickly here. And I think at this point I'm just going on full offense here. Ooh, I've got the Grave Robbery. So Grave Robbery might be... This is the other card I'm pushing for maybe a small nerf on, because this does a lot. So not only does it make skeletons, but it adds the things that died to your hand. So I can get another Vileroth in hand with 0 mana cost again, if he leaves Vileroth's tombstone alive long enough for me to play that Grave Robbery. So we drop another Crypt this way. If he kills Vileroth, which is going to take him... no, if he does it right, if he shoots Vileroth and then kills the tombstone, I won't get to do this cool trick. So if he does this right, he'll still have a pretty decent chance of winning this. But if he does this wrong and I get a second free Vileroth, he's in big trouble. But anyways, let's see here. We want to make sure we have enough gold for Norbon, so we need 1 there, 2 for Grave Robbery, which leaves us with the choice of, do we want to Cemetery, or do we want to... No, I think we want a Draconic Temple, just because we really want to get another Vileroth soon. And then this will give us enough gold to either do a Cemetery Norbon combo, or a Grave Robbery, if he gives us the opportunity. Nope, it's going to do it right. This is going to... Oh, okay. Yeah, he can kill that tombstone. He really needs to kill that tombstone. If he doesn't kill that tombstone, he is going to lose, because I am going to get a free Vileroth off of this Grave Robbery. I'm rooting for him. Maybe I should tell him. No. I'm not going to give my opponent tips, unless he's, hanging out in the stream, and then I guess he gets all the tips he wants. Oh no, he didn't kill the Vileroth tombstone. Oh. Usually you want to get more than 1 tombstone off a Grave Robbery, but you know what? I am going to take the free Vileroth gladly. Yes. Quite happy with that. Oh, he was doing pretty well for himself until that point, and that is not good for him. And I should be able to suicide this skeleton crewman and make a zombie out of him too. Oops. I should have attacked the Emergen to get the zombie, but this is fine. There's a very small amount of value loss, but that's alright. I've got 2 Vileroths in hand, 1 that I should not have. I'm in pretty good shape. Oh, okay. He killed off these crewmen for me. Delightful. I'm going to play 4 Vileroths this game. I'm a monster. Yep, looks like we'll probably just save the rest of our resources for a Cemetery Norabon combo. He put up a good fight. You can't fear dragons. Dragons are immune to forced movement. Ah, poor boy. Yep, he's surrendering. But boy, he really made me work for it. That may have been my favorite match. Well, okay, I had one other good match during the tournament that I really liked versus Rats. That was another incredible match. Yeah, so it's the only 2 times have I ever really came close to. We're lagging out a little bit here. Okay, let's try that again. JJJ is already mad at me for some of the things I play. Alright, well, good luck, Jay. Alright, so Honor of the Fallen's good. We always like to see that, but we really don't want to see any for... All of these are good cards. They're not things we want right now. We want either Crypt or Storm Generation. Is Jay having some connection issues? Alright, well, thanks for stopping by, Kami. Glad you finally made it. Alright, so no Crypt, but we do have some early Storm. So we at least got one of our 2 important puzzle pieces. Ooh, okay. No Crypt, but we've got our favorite turn 2 play with Cursed Vessel. Got our early Storm rolling. No Vileroth, no Crypt, but that's okay. I stand corrected. We now have a Crypt. We have had another basically perfect hand. Like, Cursed Vessel into Crypt is the ideal situation. I Jotsu the skeleton twice just for the draw, which is cool. That's a nice move. Like, Jotsu you think of as a buff for your own units, but it is absolutely valid to just cast it on an opponent's unit for the draw. I love me some 1 gold draws, or cantrips as we like to call them in MTG. Which is that even is cantrips zero cost? I don't know. It used to be pretty big in the MTG, but it's been a while since I've been on the Magic bandwagon. Oh, okay. He might be on the Absorb list, which is very strong. And does have a pretty good matchup here, like big field clear and things that are immune to my spell drains. Well, don't really have much of a play besides Rusty Hooks, so we may as well. Depending on where, if he attacks, basically I'm just trying to think about how I want to set up my Rusty Hooks attack here. So when an opponent casts an incantation spell, you have a chance to respond to it with your own spells, sort of like the Magic the Gathering stack or the Runeterra responses. I am not going to respond to that. No, I want this Kai Jr. to have moved before I cast my cemetery. Alternatively, I don't cast the cemetery at all, and I just trade one of the crewmen into it to get this up. Ooh, he's doing stealth. Alrighty then. Now, I think we're going to start by just cleaning up his mana tower here. We'll spend our actions on that, and we're going to hope that he attacks with that Kai Jr. It doesn't look like he's going to. Let's see. So once I attack with the skeleton, it will tell me... Okay, he has not moved his Kai Jr. yet. Because if he had and didn't have any valid actions, I would have gotten it in combat. So I know he hasn't moved, so I'm going to try to force him to move that Kai Jr. yet. Now, stealth is almost invulnerability, like units can walk through where the square was, like it's not there. The only way you can break things out of stealth is to cast an area of effect damage spell where they're at, and that will do it. Otherwise, stealth will just wear off at the end of the turn here. Well, so, looking like it's just going to be cemetery time here. Let's see, his junior was right here. He could have moved it 1, 2, 3 spaces. I don't want to give him the opportunity to go after my crypt, but I guess I'm just going to pull him back a little bit, because I want him to be around to defend against that Kai Jr. Alright, well, nothing else to do. I don't think he ever actually moved his Kai Jr. Maybe he did. Hard to say. By the way, we'll find out where it's at right now. Where are you hiding, you little dragon here? Hey, Tweak, thanks for stopping by. Just showcasing the tournament deck I had from yesterday. Alright, so he's moved his Kai Jr. up. I'm on initiative. I don't have great play right now, but I think we're just going to play the grave robbery just because we want to get some bodies here so I can get that free trade against that Kai Jr. Yeah, I believe that's our play. We're just going to grave robbery. Oh, it went great. I mean, spoilers, cover your ears if you don't want to hear the results of that tournament before Red makes his video. But if you're still listening, I went uncontested, undefeated. This deck just rolled over the entire tournament. Alright, so let's see. We want to save. Alright, let's throw down a Banshee as well. Which will give us just enough gold to use that crypt. So the plan is I'm going to move Hook so I can get that free attack on Kai Jr. And then hopefully a skeleton will... Yeah, okay. Skeleton plus Hooks should kill Kai Jr. off. Okay, nope. Kai Jr. is going to be too big to kill off, at least in a 1-2 punch now. But I think I'll still be able to kill it. Banshee's keeping our crypt safe. I think we'll be alright. So yeah, first things first, come over here, get the free attack from Hooks, thanks to the thing in between. And then let's bring... It's a little bit tough, because it's going to get to kill my mana tower if I do this wrong. But I don't think there's much of a way to save the mana tower. I mean, the only way I can save my mana tower is if I just body blocked, and maybe that's worthwhile, but my mana use is so light in this deck that I'm just not too worried about him killing my mana tower, actually. Like, especially because Typhoon's like the main thing that eats our mana in this deck, and we're probably not going to get a chance to use it. So let's return the favor. Okay, we're a little bit short of killing his mana tower, because that is his second one. But we can certainly beat it up a bit here. Now, I could just play the Typhoon Blast to wipe out the mana tower, but that's wasteful. Especially since I am down my own, so I do have a couple mana things I want to play. Big question is, can I play the Dracula? No, I think I get my mana tower down and probably play... Actually, yeah, probably I'll just play like a Rusty Hooks and maybe a Cemetery, we'll see. Alright, so he's definitely running the Absorb list. Let's see, so I think we want to, yeah. I'm going to commit to the mana tower. And then let's throw another Rusty Hooks down. Oops. I should have played that one back so that he couldn't get a backstab on it. But it's fine. If he backstabs it, then that should be a free kill. Alright, so we've saved enough. Is Magic Eater even big enough to kill? I'm sure he will. Alright, so we're just going to count on something dying to that Magic Eater, and then we'll get a Crypt proc out of. So, alternatively, I could just not worry about it, and... Alright, no. So we'll either get to make a zombie from Crypt, or we'll play Cemetery. One of the two. There's the Decay. I'm very glad I didn't try to play something else right now. So, field's definitely going to be disappearing right quick here. Yeah, no responses I want to make to that. So let's see what he does here. Okay, so I'm going to use the hooks this time. I don't mind that he's going to die to that trade, because really I want to pull this thing into reach of some other attacks here. And besides, these hooks are likely going to be dying to the Decay anyways. Well, I guess that... No, it'll still matter, because I'll get the zombie here. Yeah, what's that? Am I going to have enough to kill it? Let's hope so. Ooh, yes, okay. So we'll just barely be able to kill that problem. And we'll be on an initiative next turn. Alright, looks like my Crypt just barely survived that AoE. Although I had a backup anyway, so it's okay. So at this point now, we'd really like to see a Nora Bomb. That would be very nice. So, could play the Dracula, or could do Cemetery. I think we'll actually plan on playing Cemetery just for the deck thin this round. So let's see, we need to save 1 for Crypt. So 3 on Cemetery. Salahar? Yeah, maybe just Salahar then. I think that's probably our best bet. Yeah, let's play Salahar. Salahar's a big boy. Will give us enough to play Cemetery and Crypt. Yeah, Cemetery is so good. It thins your deck by 3 and draws you a card. It makes finding those Vile Roths and Norabons a lot easier. So the Mothra, Behemothra does area of effect damage on its attacks, so I do need to keep that in mind. So I think first we're going to work on killing this monkey. Which means I'm probably just going to lose. Yeah. Let's see what he does with Mothra. The Mothra will definitely get a little bit of work done. Him being on initiative means he's going to get the opportunity to attack with the Mothra before I can do anything. So I don't want to play these crypts where they're going to get a bunch of free procs. So I would usually like to keep my tombstones farther forward, but I don't want him getting free clears. Ah, there's that Vile Roth. All right. So Mothra's going to damage our front wall of tombs here, but that's okay. Vile Roth is coming. Now we just need a Noravon to seal the deal here. Ooh, King Kaiju. King Kaiju is a bit of a monster, so he's cool because every time he kills something, he can move and attack again, which means he theoretically has the ability to clear this entire board if left uncontested. So we're going to do our best to contest him with this Vile Roth here. Yeah, King Kaiju is a big monster. But luckily, we are going to be able to deal with this King Kaiju, although only just barely. And King Kaiju also is basically, well, definitely costs 0 mana now too, because he gets cheaper for every time ability damage is dealt. So after casting a single decay, he's usually big enough. Alright, we're in pretty good shape, you know. We've got a highly damaged Vile Roth on board, a bunch of tombstones. I really hope we do manage to find ourselves another Norabon before he has a way to clear off all these tombstones. So we'll probably just be playing that cemetery this turn just to clear our deck further, because we're racing against him finding another decay to kill all of our tombstones. So I think we might just play the Dracula. That's probably our best bet. We're to the point where we don't need to be conservative with mana, because I think Vile Roths cost 0, and even doing this, that'll give us enough mana to play Noravon if we find it. So we've got enough gold to do a Cemetery Crypt combo. Yeah, although if he starts dropping back-to-back King... Like, if he does a King Kaiju plus Decay combo, we are in big trouble. Because he will wipe our entire board and have a big... Well, Colossus. It's not actually a dragon. And Decay would definitely set us back here. But I think we're still okay. Alright, so kill that immediately before it has a chance to grow any bigger. That's for sure happening. And then let's go ahead and... yeah, let's do this tombstone, that way Vile Roth can move in for the kill here. Just going to play the Decay. He should have probably played King Kaiju back a little bit, out of reach of the Dracula. He still pretty much has to play the... Okay, he's going to clean up the Vile Roth. Alright. Alright, so yeah, now it's time just for the cemetery to thin our deck down a bit, and so we are much more likely to draw that Vileroth or Norabon. Well, we didn't draw a Vileroth, but a Draconic Temple is almost as good. I'm gonna move the zombie down just so that I have a place to play this Draconic Temple, since you can play them around your castle, but all those spots are occupied, so I want to make sure I've got somewhere to play it off of the zombie, and I don't want to play like on the far behind. So we're in pretty good shape here. Hey, there's our Norabon. Ooh, but there's the king. Ooh, this is going to be... That's a big boy. Alright, so we're going to get our Norabon down. I want to make sure I keep him out of King Kaiju reach here. So he can move down, attack. Move forward, attack. I'm going to play him one back just in case he has a way to get an extra action here. Well, let's see. What else do we need our gold for? So we need one for... Yeah, we may as well play the Cursed Vessel. There's basically no reason not to right now. So he's going to take out a couple of our gemstones, but then Norabon is... Oh, there's the decay! Alright, but we can at least respond to the decay with Norabon, since these zombies are a little bit hardier than the tombstone. Yeah, I'm in a bit of trouble here. Ooh, boy, this is going to hurt. I want to attack with the Dracula while it's still... Actually, we might just be trying to go in for the kill here. Alright, I need to make sure I don't give him a checker path to my castle. So I'm going to trade here. And then I keep trading into the Kaiju, or do I go after castle? I think we go after castle. Because my zombies may all just be dead when my turn comes back around here. Yep, there go all the zombies. So we know for sure we're going to be coming over here. And hopefully just getting the victory off of Dracula. Now I do need to be... So I think I'm just going to let Norabon die here. I don't want to let him be able to come and attack my castle, so I'm going to suicide Norabon. Just goodbye, Norabon. You are no longer a potential checker path for that king. But yeah, I think we've got victory just off of spell damage. Like, we can play just the drain lives alone may be enough to kill that castle now. Put up a good fight with those decays, though. He's coming back for a rematch. Bring in Yellow-White, or Crusader Druids. Alright, so we've got our early storm. Now we just want to look for a crypt. Alright, so not a perfect hand, but not a bad one. Like, early storm's always good. No crypt, but we're doing alright. So just drop down a scout. We'll likely be Typhoon Blasting that Lumbering Oak unless he gives us something better to target. Ooh, Season of Growth. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll play another scout. Oh, I see. I'm up against a Griffin deck. That's what's up. Griffin is this big old 9 mana. Yep, there it is. Can't be targeted by spells. Heals itself. Is flying. It's a pretty nasty unit. And he got it off real early there. Well, guess we're just gonna play this vessel. Now we may be in a bit of trouble because it's going to be a while before we have anything that can really answer that. Now, given he high rolled, and we definitely can take, like, Viroth will still one-shot a Griffin, Norbon will do it in a couple shots. So if we can survive for a little bit, we'll be okay. But so I think we're going to have to body block. Alright, so I really just need to keep this Griffin off of my face for long enough for me to get to my big units. So, ooh, and he's growing them up too. So I guess first I'm going to pull the scout back just to keep the Griffin off my face. And then do I kill the... Yeah, no, I've got more mana than this deck will ever use at this point. That is a very big Griffin. So yeah, I'm just doing my best to sort of shield my castle from his onslaught. Buy myself the time to try and make it to Viroth. Norbon will help, but it's probably not going to be enough on his own. Yeah, no, he's got... Yeah, I probably should have played them back. Should have played them forward, so I could have also gone on the offensive here. Of course, that was... I was counting on being able to place something here to block, but now, unfortunately, that Griffin is going to get on my face, and there is nothing I can do about it, because I just don't really have a play this turn, unfortunately. I can at least kill the armory with the Typhoon Blast, so that's something. But yeah, we're in a bit of trouble. Like, yeah, I was hoping to be able to keep that Griffin off my face. Oh wait, did he play another season of... Oh, he did! Oh, whew! Okay, so it doesn't feel good to basically sacrifice a crypt, but right now we are mostly concerned about keeping those free hits off of our castle. So it feels terrible to sacrifice a crypt, but we didn't have something else. And I think we're just going to Typhoon Blast that now. So yeah, we're just doing all that we can to keep that Griffin off of our face so that we buy time to make it to our big units here. And I think we're on initiative, so I can afford to come up and trade here. I can drop another body block in front of castle, so let's try to put our own pressure on this direction. So we are doing our best here. Alright, so still going to be a little bit before we can get any serious work done. So we're going to drop our body block. We'll be able to okay, so I'm in a very strange position right now of if I kill this skeleton, well, he can trade. I may have made a mistake moving my scout up, actually. I guess let's just go hit this. think we'll just call that good for the moment. Maybe I should just trade into that. No. Yeah, that high roll, he had the perfect hand to get that early Griffin. Like, usually Griffin takes at least another turn or two longer than that. But we just got to stall for a little bit here. You know, we've got Drain Life, we've got, you know, Norbon and Vileroth. Let's see what he's going to do here. Do want to kill that Emergen, though. That Emergen can be a pretty big threat on its own here. Hey, my lord, thanks for stopping by. Do I have enough to kill that? Yeah, so... So I have to make a choice now. Do I want to risk giving the Griffin a free path to my castle, or do I want to prioritize killing that Emergen? I think I'm going to pass and force him to... If he wants to move that Griffin in, he'll have to make an awkward trade. And then I can clean up the Emergen. But if he wants to just pass, I'll be happy with that as well. Okay, so now I think we can go clean up Emergen. But only just barely. We are exposing our castle, but at that point, at this point, you know, our castle is going to be exposed no matter what. So, at least we got the Emergen threat off of our base. Well, I'm glad you came to stop by on our break here. I just got to back up Emergen. We're in a bit of danger, but we are getting very close to our big answers here. Just got to survive a couple more turns here, which I think with Drain Life, we should be able to. Another going to be a real tight match here. That is a big Griffin. Yep, and now it's only going to take a couple turns for that Griffin to eat away my castle here. So definitely going to Drain Life, the Bird Emergen, heal up our castle. Oh, that was... So, the Drain Life, will that be enough? Nope, not quite. Whew, okay, dealt with the second Emergen. Alright, okay, we are on the Norbon turn. Is Griffin big enough? Alright, Griffin, alright, so we're at the Norbon turn, so we can start chipping away at Griffin here. And the next turn we'll have the Vileroth, which will be able to deal with the Griffin. Okay, so... Yeah, I think I just hit the Griffin just so I take a little bit less damage. And then I also turtle up so he can only attack castle with one unit this turn. Okay, so right now all we care about is just surviving. Alright, so I think we will have officially recovered because we have survived to Vileroth. It was not easy, but we made it. He will be on initiative, though, so he will get one more nice opportunity to get something in, but the Vileroth train is coming. Ooh, I may not be able to kill that Griffin this turn, though, but Well, I may be able to. We'll see. We will see. Is he going to heal enough? Alright. Oh, he did. He healed just enough. So that puts me... So at this point, I may as well kill the Drake, since I'll be on initiative next turn, and once that 40% armor is gone, I'll be able to kill it. So, Bioroth will save us, our Lord and Savior. He will deal with that mean old griffin, and will also throw down a second one for good measure. And on with Golem while we're at it. Alright, we made it. Ooh! And I may be able to grave robbery his griffin with all that extra mana he gave me too. That'll be rude. Play 2 Bioroths and his own griffin. So first things first, kill that before it heals anymore. Then we'll move over, kill the books. And then... Alright, yeah, this is pretty well over, but he sure made me sweat. Yep, he's surrendering. He's not going to let me do the cheeky griffin robbery. He's doing his best. He's just cycling through his options, trying to see if he can find a way to beat this. He's a great player. Trying to see if he can find a way to beat this deck, and I think it is becoming more and more clear that I have made another abomination that is likely in need of nerf. But anyways, back to the game at hand. Time to look for our Storm and Crypt. Yeah, I can't blame him. Although I did really want to play his own Griffin against him. That would have been very satisfying. Alright, so Batcherino says this deck is called Anti-DA. I wonder what it is. Is Batcherino Astonisher, aka JJJ? Ah, I see you're sniping. That's fine. This deck is a little bit nonsense. It deserves to be sniped. I'm glad to have you hanging out anyways. No early storm for me this game, but I do at least have the crypt, so we've got... Oh, surrendering. Sad. Did you pick the wrong deck, or are you just tired of dealing? Okay. Bricking happens. Alright. Over to white-black, which most commonly white-black says Circle of Life Tombstones. Alright, so we've got our early storm. No crypt, but as long as you get either crypt or early storm, you're usually in pretty good shape to win the game. The only times you really tend to get in danger is when you don't get those. And sorry, mine. I do stream for a while, basically as long as I have viewers or until it gets really late. So I'll be on for a while still. So let's see. I think I'm just going to play another Honor of the Fallen. I could have played a Cemetery, but the Cemetery might have been the better play. I just don't want him getting free hits on those tombstones. Alright, nope, let's just Typhoon Blast the Banshee, get our storm rolling. Not our best hand. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we are definitely up against Circle Zombies, another top-tier deck. It's looking like Scout's probably the play here. Actually, maybe not. Maybe I kill off that crypt, but nah, we can always do that later. Yeah, I don't actually have the mana to do it this turn. Yeah, let's let's deal with the immediate threat. Lumbering Oak is a Colossi. They only move one space, but they can push things out of the way when they do it, so there's no point in me trying to body block. Positioning him here ensures I know where my Scout will be. Alright, well, thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you later, my lord. Alright, do I go after the zombie, or do I go after the Oak? I do believe I go after the zombie while I have a shot at its back here, because it is a Guardian. So, I could target the crypt, but I'd rather get my own threats down here. Bear. Yeah, currently my Honor of the Fallen is being used against me, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. You know, our hand's doing well enough. We can clean up some immediate threats. Although I am going to do a little bit of a cheeky play here. I'm going to come over and attack this Tombstone, which may not have been great because he doesn't have any gold to use his crypt, but his Tombstone is still blocking my face for me. Okay. I probably should have just killed the zombie. It was a cheeky play, but not a good play. So this turn we'll probably be dealing with that. That's a big bear. Alright, so I think we play the vessel. I'll play it back a bit, actually, just because I know he's going to be pushing into my back line here. So we'll do that, and we'll save our other options there. How much damage? 30 damage bear. Oof. And it's about to get Frenzy off of that Bestial Rage, too. A full health Voyager might be able to survive, but yeah, he's probably going to kill that Voyager. Yeah, well, we'll call it good, and we'll just sort of see what happens now. Yeah, I probably should have killed that zombie, but oh well. Yeah, that's a big bear. Now that Frenzy is procced, ooh boy, I might lose just to a bear. I might get my first loss to just a random Northwood bear. Yeah, him going after my mana is actually going to hurt a bit. It's not a great point to use this. And I think it's definitely awkward, but we're going to have to kill that crypt because it's just too much of a problem right now. I do have to decide, though, whether... Oh, he's going to protect his crypt. Alright, well, at least that makes my decision easy. I now know I'm going to save my mana for another big play rather than trying to kill that off. At least for now. Yeah, I'm definitely paying for leaving that zombie alive. Alright, but I've got some stuff protecting the face. Alright, well, I know we need to rebuild our mana tower. And then I think we're not ideal to play the hooks here, but it's fine. We're just gonna work on trying to kill off that bear here. I do need to... So I can... Alright, so that'll work there, but we're going to save that. Just, we're not going to do it yet. We're going to... I want to get the free hit. And expose my castle. Or... No, let's start just... Let's give it a whack. Yeah, I don't want to expose my castle, so I'm just going to let the bear get some work done. Because that bear needs to go. And maybe we can't really afford to use this right now, because we need to save for this. Or this. Yep, now he's going to get in with that bear. It would be a problem. But I can at least finally clean up that zombie. I should have ages ago, as well as do a little bit of damage to that one as well. That bear's really hitting hard. Oh, curious. He's killing the tombstones. I guess he does just want to clear a path for the White Knight, and he does know I also have tombstones, so he doesn't want to leave a lot of them hanging around. But let's make some more, just for the deck then at this point. I might... Do I just kill the bear? No, I think I really just need to... it's gonna hurt next turn when that hits my face. But I think we've... boy, we're in a tough spot. Right, we're gonna let the Genesis happen. Yeah, we might just have to... Doesn't feel great, but I don't think I can afford another... I can't afford to let that bear hit my face again. That is going to hurt way too much. It does eat up all our mana here, but... That's alright. Okay, woo, alright. Not quite enough to kill the Grift, but that's alright. That'll do the job. It'll buy us a little bit of time. Oh, he's feeding me the mana I needed. Why, thank you. Yeah, I think we go for the... Yeah, because we need to start healing up. Oh, there's another useful thing to see, although we don't quite have the mana for it. So, throw down a vessel, and... Probably save our gold for this. That, or we... No, we need to mana burst, actually. We need to make sure we have some mana for next turn. Ooh, a decay, just cleaning up all those tombstones. In response to that, protecting his own crypt, good play, solid. Beating my castle up quite a bit here. I think I kill one of these white knights. Do I kill the Banshee? No, we'll let the Banshee die to the dot. Yeah, let's kill the white knight that has the small potential of hitting my castle. And let's kill this, as that's going to do have the potential to do some damage there. Alright, we're good to go. We're ready to play Big Boy. We've got Dracula to sustain our castle. Although actually we're probably going to go for this since we're on initiative. Our castle is definitely getting in danger mode here, but I think Dracula will keep us in. Now we need to play this. Because otherwise we're going to get in trouble. It's a little unfortunate that I can't afford to play that and a mana tower, but I pretty much gotta do this right now, or I'm going to be in trouble. Ooh, okay, I was worried he would have a Circle of Life. If he'd have played a Circle of Life right there as burst and just brought all of these back before I even had the chance to use Noraball, that would have probably been his game. But we're in good shape now. We've got everything off of our face. We've got a Dracula roaming around to get our health back. And I think I go attack the vampire here, just because I want to start dealing with that and healing my castle up. Very, very, very tight game again here. I want to give him an opportunity to use his crypt on that, so we're just going to kill that off, and we'll call that good. Big Mordok. We'll put the hurt on my Dracula. Right, so I think, first things first, let's get our mana tower down. I guess we may as well turn on our own crypt while we're at it. And then that, which will leave us not for some shenanigans here. Is he going to be able to kill my Drac? Ooh, it's real close there. Alright, so I think I go and kill his crypt to start. And then I think I heal up my Dracula and damage that Mordok a bit more while he's low level. Very important to get early damage on him because he will level up and scale real fast. Let's go ahead and I was pretty sure Dracula had enough. That being said, they are working on making it visible for seeing how much damage Mordok's ability will do. Uh, like, that is going to be fixed. It's just a little bit difficult to do with the UI. Alright, yeah, let's just keep beating up this Mordok. Well, we can. Alright, so we've gotten a good bit of damage on the Mordok. It's just gonna... Alright, and it is time. Alright, yep, he's surrendering. Once the Vial start coming down, it's usually over, but that was another close one. That early bear put on so much pressure. Alright, grabbed a guy from Quick Match here. And while we're readying up here, I'm going to grab a snack. Okay, basically perfect starting cards. We've got the Cursed Vessel and the Crypt. Now pretty much the only thing we want is to look for legends and opening plays. Or, like, warriors and such. Okay, well, Cemetery's fine. Okay, I've got the normal, so we may be going for the full-on Crypt or Tomb plan this game rather than relying on Valroths, but we'll see. We'll get that Cursed Vessel down. And we've got a perfect opening hand. We're up against some steel here. Not talking much because I'm snacking and didn't figure anybody wanted to hear any chips crunching. Dread Pirate's always a strong card. Now, I lately don't like playing with Trading Post because that will immediately... So the really cool trick with Dread Robins is if you attack once with no treasure, then you get that full damage attack. But then if you gain treasure after that, then you get the 2 follow-up smaller ones. But if you start with treasure because of Trading Post, all 3 are small. So, anyways, probably just going to be doing Cemetery. It might be Cemetery Grave Robbing. Probably. That's likely what we're going for here. What I'm hoping is he will leave Robins in range of the skeleton. So yeah, alright. Now we can Cemetery. Then we can Grave Robbing. Then we can Suicide a skeleton. And bring it back with Crypt. I messed that up a little bit. Because now he has a chance to destroy the tombstone. I should have... Oh, he didn't go for it. Lucky us. Yeah, I'm just going to take that out now before it does any more damage. Yeah, he's given up. Aha! Another match with Jay here. Got our early storm. Now we just want to find a crypt. Okay. Another... That is about as good as it gets, right? Okay, now it is literally as good as it gets. Like, this is perfect. Turn 1 play, into turn 2 storm, into crypt, into follow-up, plus protection, and... Oh, okay, that is as perfect as it can get. Aha! Jay has joined the dark side and is just running the mirror. I don't enjoy mirrors, but it should be fun. Alright, he's on initiative. I'll be on initiative. Oh, okay. Very good play from him. Cleaning off that early crypt. That is how you deal with Tombstone decks. If you answer the crypt, they start to have a bad time. We'll get that. I'll get that cheeky free trade there. Yeah, I should probably damage that so this zombie won't be big enough to kill my mana tower. Time to start beating up on that his crypt so we can return that favor. Hey, we got our own. This hand just keeps getting better and better. Yep, we'll call that good. Get a nice Rave Raw play. Alternatively, okay, it's too late. Yeah, no, yeah, let's go for the Grave Robbery. Protect our mana tower a little bit. I think we target his mana tower over the crypt at least this turn. And we'll hopefully be able to clean the crypt up next turn. Alright. That gives us a few options with our remaining gold here. I think the one we're going to go for is the free trade on this, thanks to the Tombstone. Okay, let's just go for some more castle damage. Suppose we will take this opportunity. Yeah, we don't want him to get that Tombstone usage, so let's clean up these things on our face. Just going to pull this back. I don't want to create a tombstone right now since he's going to have initiative. Although I guess since I'm about to make one over here, it would have been fine. But either way, we're just going to keep focusing on beating up his crypt. Looking like it's big dragon time. Of course, he may do the same. Alright. And then we'll match him dragon for dragon. Although, actually, I won't. I want to get my mana tower rebuilt. And I want to kill his crypt. Which leaves me with, yeah, alright, so we'll just play the scout for now. And we'll call that good. Leaving us with a few options what to do with our gold between the mana, between crypt. But I think we know what we're doing. We are finishing off his crypt now with that play there. Which means not a lot to do for our last little 2 bits of gold here, but that's okay. Let's go. I may as well start chipping away at that Valroth here. And we can get the free hit now. Though I wonder if Rusty Hooks wouldn't pull a dragon even if he didn't have something between the two of them. It's something that we'll want to find out for science eventually. Make sure I've got... Okay, yeah. Probably just be big boy trading next turn here. Yep, that looks like the plan. I've got 2 choices. I can either do the tombstone, which I think is what I'm going to go for. I could alternatively come in with the Banshee to fear away the scout. I may go for that. Yeah, let's do that. That's a little bit more efficient. So we'll fear the scout away. And then we'll clean up the oozing dragon here. He's doing his best to chip down my Valroth. Can't fear him, but he can reduce his level with Banshee. I think let's just start beating up on his castle. Ooh, he married in a circle of life. Cool. Very cool. Fortunately, most of these tombstones were not level 3 or lower. I'm in a little bit of a strange spot here. It's very tempting to kill this Vileroth tombstone. It's pretty heavy investment to do so, but I don't want him to get the chance to grave rob it, since he will have initiative. Of course, if he had grave robbery, he probably would have played it this turn. So I think we're just gonna... It's not worth the investment to deal with that. We can... Let's just pass and call that good. Is he going to have the grave robbery? Nope, it does not appear he does. So yeah, let's go ahead and set up for our next big boy. And we can either... Nah, I don't think we need to... Well, maybe we save for that, just to heal him up. We'll see. Yeah, we'd save for that. We don't really need another Banshee down right now. Ah, he's surrendering. Alright, well that was a neat one. I need just a few minutes here. I will be back shortly. Alright. Well, let's grab another one. Probably won't be playing the deck much a whole lot after today, just because I will have played it to death, and there's also a strong chance it will get nerfed, but I just really want to give it a nice long proper showcase today. No early storm, but we do have the crypt, so... Not our best open, but not a bad one. I am suspecting a Blessing of the Meek deck. I do believe that has enough. Yeah, it'll definitely kill the Banshee in 2 shots. So I can either run away or get some face damage. I think I'm just going to run away. Just a couple points of damage on castle isn't worth the completely free trade you can get off that Deadeye. Probably should have put him in front of my castle, but it's not a huge difference. this turn's a little awkward, because I do want to kill that Deadeye. No, I don't think I can afford... Okay, so the important thing is that I make sure that if he has golden mana left over, that I have enough mana to cast Drain Life in response to a Blessing of the Meek. So I think for the moment we're just going to get our crypt down and call that good. Yeah, see. Won't play the Honor of the Fallen yet, because we'll hopefully get the crypt usage, because he's most likely going to run his Con Artist up. I'll trade into Con Artist, and then Banshee will get finished off by Deadeye, but then I can get a zombie out of it. Yeah, so really, we want to see him use his Blessing of Meek and then get to respond to it. That's the ideal. We want him to waste the card and kill the Deadeye. I'm curious, he moved the Deadeye first. Hey, Mind Lord, thanks for coming back. If I don't move... Alright, well now that we know Banshee's not dying, we may as well play this. Hey, there's some storm. A little bit later than we were hoping for, but we're just glad it's here. Now, what to do with this Banshee? Yeah, I think let's just go run it all the way up so it can threaten that Deadeye. Alright, we need to get our storm ticking. Little bit of a risky play there, since he now has the opportunity Blessing of the Meek. I wasn't, Mind Lord. I've been non-stop back-to-back games here. So he will need to play 2 units to prevent me from trading into this Deadeye. So even if he does have a Blessing of the Meek, he won't be able to get great value out of it. Given it's not bad on the card-wise either. Oh, okay, he did have the double unit to protect that Deadeye. That does at least mean we're not worried about the Blessing of the Meek, so that's something. Don't want to give up a backstab. Definitely an awkward spot. I could just pass. But no, let's pop that. I could kill it off, which will send my units 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I kill it off, then he'll get the backstab, which I don't want him to get. He may not be on Meek, he may just be on Dromoth to steal Dromoth. Yeah, I think I'll just pass. This way I'm not giving up an easy backstab. And if he breaks his formation, he risks me hitting that Deadeye a little bit. I mean, his most obvious play is to move the Deadeye down, out of reach of the scout, shoot, and then do whatever else he's going to do. I'll pull the Con Artist back, presumably just to avoid the Banshee level drain, but I'm surprised he didn't go forward. That would have also done the trick. I guess he's just really trying to defend this Deadeye, which makes sense. Ooh, although he attacked where Scout can still potentially reach it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to trade into that Bandit. It is problematic. I do still need to be aware that Blessing of the Meek is still very much a possibility. So this is a turn I probably want to be saving some gold for Drain Life. So it looks like our plan will be Drain Life and Cemetery, or Drain Life and Crypt, or Crypt and Cemetery, or Mana. Lots of options. I think ideally... Yeah, let's see. Oh, he's... Yeah, I think he stole that Crypt off of Con Artist. That's unfortunate. That is like the one card we don't... Well, okay, that and Grave Robbery. We don't want either of those stolen from this deck. Nothing else in the deck's too important. Alright, he did not leave himself enough gold to play Blessing of the Meek, so we no longer need to save resources for Drain Life. So I think we're just going to play the Voyager and leave us enough to Crypt. Yeah, that feels like the play here. Although I have given him the opportunity to get a very efficient Banshee trade. And a backstab as well, but couldn't really avoid that one once I'd moved the scout in. Oh, but he's not taking the backstab. He's taking the shot. Thanks for the raid, Beastly. And hey, Hayden, thanks for stopping by. We're showcasing the tournament deck from yesterday. What is this brain slug meme about? Alright, so I think first things first, let's kill this other Banshee. Well, the only thing it will fear is a skeleton that we don't care about too much. And then we do need to decide what... fair enough. What tombstone we want to use. I'm leaning towards the one that's just already on his face. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that tombstone. Attack this Guardian while its back is turned to us. He's returning the favor with his own Crypt there. It's definitely the worst card to get stolen. Cleaning up the tombstones, though, probably the right play, because I have a lot more tomb synergy than he likely does. Oh, running away with the bandit again. He's missed a couple steals that he could have gotten there, and now he's going to give me the trade on that so I can stop worrying about it. Which will also set me up to get a zombie on top of that Crypt soon here. Yeah, I think we'll just do a sloppy trade there. Beat the zombie up a bit. Alright, getting close to the Valroth turn, although our storm was delayed a bit, so it's not looking phenomenal. We could do some Grave Robbery shenanigans this turn, or some Rusty Hooks stuff. Yeah, probably go for the hooks. Yeah, still may do a Grave Robbery. Yeah, I think that may be our play. Just get a trade on the Con Artist, and then... Oh wait, we actually have 3 tombstones already. If I have been wanting to know how Rusty Hooks will interact with a ranged unit, so let's go ahead and pass, then we'll grave rob. We'll move the skeleton over to do... Yeah, that's the thing. We're going to do grave rob and rusty hooks, which will leave us another point of mana for crypt. Although placing that there has protected his... It's potentially protected that Deadeye. Okay, well, we're not going to get a good trade out of hooks, but we will be able to kill the Deadeye with our Voyager. And that's the most important thing to do. Oh, wait, nope, I have made a mistake because I forgot about that tombstone there. But we can still at least do some big damage to that Deadeye. We'll still likely be able to kill it. I was just hoping to be able to kill it with the Voyager, but I forgot that he did have his own crypt there. Wait a moment, Rusty Hooks didn't get counterattacked. Oh. Usually, even at an angle, he'll pull down. Yeah, putting the books there will keep his Deadeye alive. For the moment, anyways. Let's work on cleaning up this land shark then, before it has an opportunity to go after my face. Alright, we're going to swing the skeleton around to attack the castle, because the zombie does slightly more damage to the crypt. And not much else to do right now. Could send our boy marching down the field, but I feel like that's a lot of mana to spend on him right now, and we have some other options. Yeah, I think let's just throw down some bodies here. I'd like to save enough to get a crypt. Yeah, we'll do crypt cemetery, or alternatively a drain life, if it feels necessary. Well, we're not going to find out the science of Rusty Hooks versus ranged units. Still want to see what he will do to a ranged unit and a dragon when attacking at ranged. Well, he doesn't attack at range. Because he still can't attack flyers. Let's... what to do. I think we're going to make a zombie. I want to set up for an elvish bandit play here. So I'm going to just pop that. Anyway, let's finish off that sniper. So perhaps I should have drained life the crypt. I guess I still have plenty of time to do so. That's probably my play. Although I want him to generate a few more tombstones before I kill it. Okay. He protected himself from the backstab. Good play on his part. A lot of tombstones. There's not much of a play other than to attack that, and then drain. It's our ultimately target. Alright, he no longer has a crypt. Yeah, I think it's about time to start marching our Vile Wrath down the field here. Leaving us just enough gold to get a crypt play. So I could just move this zombie out of the way to get a backstab. I think that's likely the play. Let's just move this out of the way and go get ourselves a steal. Be awfully nice to see a Norabon about this time. I guess I may as well clean that up. And I may as well make a zombie here and punch that. Looking like this is pretty secured. I don't see much he can do next turn to survive this incoming Vile Wrath. Because he would have to kill the crewman and the tombstone and put a body block there. Although I suppose if he could just kill the Vile Wrath somehow, that would also save him, but I don't see that being practical, because even if he dropped a Dromoth, that wouldn't really help, because Dromoth only does like 60 damage, so Vile Wrath would survive that. Well, that might damage Vile Wrath enough to keep her from killing Castle. Yeah, he's saying GG. He sees the writing on the wall. There's the Dromoth, but which will definitely do a significant number on my field here. Let's see, so I'm probably going to want to drain life to heal the Vile Wrath up a bit. I'm going to want at least one for crypt. I don't want to give him any cards, so I think we're just looking at drain life, cemetery, crypt, leaving us with a few spare gold that we'll put towards another crypt specimen, even though this is pretty much over already. But never, don't get reckless just because you think you have the win. Okay, that was so far enough to slow him down, but will it be enough in the end? Oh, he surrendered. He still had a very small chance there, but it was heavily in my favor, and after I healed Balroth, that may have done the trick anyway. Jay's back from war here. If you're on the mirror, I might switch it up. I don't tend to enjoy mirrors, but we'll oblige for now. Okay, pretty strong open here. We've got Storm and Crypt. Don't think we need two of those right now. Probably will keep the cemetery, though. Alright, pretty happy with that. Alright, and she's good open, and we'll likely Typhoon something. Mana Tower's fine. That's a very good Typhoon target. Yep, this is a mirror through and through, isn't it? Although he's probably still running some interesting tech like Maddie and Circle of Life. Talk about a mirror. This is just unpleasant. I'll have to, if he wants to keep facing off this, I'll just give him a round or two of the deck and we'll switch something off. Well, we have been at this for 3 hours, so we may not keep going for too long, but yeah, I think for now he's tried it once on the mirror, but it didn't work. And as much as I dislike mirrors, they are always nice to see who's better at piloting a deck, but oftentimes mirrors come down more to the luck than the piloting of the deck. Let's see, so I could Cemetery and Crypt. It's probably my best bet. It's just a little unfortunate because he's going to be able to make use of my own cemeteries. But I think that's still our best play here. Keeps that off of our face, and now the question is, though, do we attack it, or do we spend another Typhoon? I don't think we can afford another Typhoon right now, so let's just give that a punch. But of course now he can, get the free hook trade, as well as make his own zombie. Then he'll be on initiative, so he'll grab my other tombstones, so very awkward. He's got a small lead right now. Let's see if he can keep it. Maybe he'll give me my first loss ever. And my hand's definitely a bit awkward here. It seems like my only play is again going to be Cemetery Crypt, but I can at least plop down a second Crypt so I'm not wasting any gold. Of course, that means he will be able to make good use out of the first tombstone. Oh, he didn't take the tombstone. Interesting. Yeah, well, yeah, we'll do that. Which will give us next turn the opportunity to cemetery and double crypt. Because I don't really want a cemetery right now, because then... Wait, did he already use his crypt? Oh. Guess he did. Okay, so I am safe to play my cemetery and then do a Norabon. Ah, well, no, I still can't. This is fine. We'll drop the cemetery, and then we can just double raise the top and bottom zombie to clear off the hooks and the... Okay, so his crypt... Dang it. He did have a crypt left. Well, mistakes have been made. He didn't have its exclamation, so I thought I was safe there, but I guess he did end up using the crypt anyways. He used the grave robbery, which is always a danger that you can get in a mirror. So it was probably not my best move to play the cemetery there. Like, with him floating that much gold, that was a little bit foolish. I probably should have known better. I'm starting to get fatigue. Yeah, I think we'll just pass. That play right there may let him get the better of us this game. Yeah, I think Dracula's our best bet right now. We can kill the hooks and the zombie. It's going to be a tough one here. Like, he's got major field presence, although I do have a really good hand. Messing up on that, giving him that grave robbery could cost me. There's his Vile Roth, which will potentially give him the opportunity to... And I don't want him to trade in my Dracula, so I'm going to do a very cheeky protect my Dracula with a Draconic Temple here. Yeah, I think that's going to be my play. It's awkward because I really want my Mana Tower, but a Mana Tower is not going to be big enough to block, because he'll be able to... Actually, no, it'll take him 2 trades to kill the Mana Tower. But do I want to give him the Mana Tower? This is so awkward. Yeah, no, I guess we're just going to do the cheeky block there and get this Mana Tower back. That does still leave us at least 1 gold for our crypt. And we'll get to keep our Dracula safe for a moment. Well, now we're going to do that. And then I think I go up to the hooks or the zombie? Yeah, okay, I don't want to give... Okay, he's out of gold, and I'm on initiative, so it's okay if I make some tombstones here. Again, I don't want this zombie beating up on my crypts, so that may be what we actually do. So let's shoot that, and then kill that zombie. I guess the scout hits just as hard. Well, let's at least get this turned around so he gets his Guardian bonus when Rusty Hooks gets his free trade here. Now Bioroth is closing in. I could be in a bit of trouble here, since I don't have enough to play my own this turn. Nor do I have much else to play right now. Alright, so I think we are probably going to play another Crypt, though. It's just going to kill it with Bioroth. Alright, I think we're going to need to get this Cursed Vessel down to give us some potential blocks against Bioroth next turn. So let's get that going. And then we're going to want to save enough for Drain Life, Crypt, definitely awkward. Alright, so we have to kill that warrior. Awkward. I don't want to waste my second Crypt. Alright, no, I'm just going to play it. Just going to play it. Second. Well, let's see. This is tough. Alright, so we will boost up this zombie. Then we will kill this to protect our backline Crypt. So now that Crypt will survive. I think I'm just going to hold off on the... I mean, I could Drain Life the Rusty Hooks. Yeah, let's do that, because that will protect the other Crypt as well. A little awkward. And doing it this way means he'll get a chance to use his Crypt. Oh, crap. I should have raised that zombie myself. Alright, so I will get the... Alright, so let's... Whew, this is tough. I think my Bioroth will show up in time to save me. But it's gonna be a bit close here. Alright, so I need to kill this. So it's out of the way. This Crypt will survive thanks to that tombstone. Although, yeah, that is what I was afraid of, him getting that right there. So that means now he'll have the ability to move things out of the... But if he moves stuff out of the way, then I'll have an opportunity to respond. Going to be a real tight game. Uh-oh, Warbone, not good. Alright, so definitely playing my own Vile Roth. Question is where. Don't want to play it in range of Norbon, so I guess we're going to play it. Although if we play it up top, then it can't trade into the one we want it to. Ooh, this is tough. If a grave robbery now, that prevents him from Norboning. It means I won't get to grave rob Vile Roths, but I don't think I can afford for him to... Okay, there we go. Alright, and now I can play my Vile Roth. I don't want to play in range of Norbon, so I'm just going to play it up top. I'll have initiative. Going to be tight. Going to be real tight. Yep, so he's going to move the one out of the way so he can clear his path for that. But that means I will get to trade on this one and just kill it outright. So, good deal there. And then next turn, I will be able to... I need to make sure that this other Vile Roth gets damaged so that I can one-shot it with a full health Vile Roth, or I will be in a bit of trouble. I think I'm just going to punch this zombie. Yeah, I'll punch that zombie there. So I don't want to create a bunch of tombstones quite yet. Ooh, there's a cemetery. He's going to get a lot of zombies shortly here, but I want him to blow the Norbon before I kill off his skeletons. Alright. The most crucial thing right now is to ensure that I get enough damage on that other Vile Roth to kill it. But right now I should probably finish off that zombie. Alright, so that's done. I really don't want to create another skeleton just yet. Or another tombstone. I suppose I could just... Yeah, let's actually just punch this one that's up close. Okay. Alright, so now I'm safe to trade in my own. Okay, well I need to make sure first that that'll be enough. Okay, that's enough. So now I just need to make sure I leave myself a way to get that Vile Roth trade in there. Alright, it's taken out my big Vile Roth. Alright, so I think what's going to be important is that I have a little bit of a tight spot because I need to make sure that I have a spot to get my Vile Roth in. I'll be on initiative, so I'll be able to... Okay, I'll be able to turn this into a zombie, move it out of the way, and I can play Vile Roth. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, I can spawn Vile Roth here, turn this into a zombie, trade the zombie. Okay, alright, we're good, we're good. We're good. Still going to be tight, though. It'll be real tight. And Lots of tombstones for his own Norbone there. Whew, that's going to be rough. Alright, so now we'll get the Violroth down. We'll get some health back from Dracula. I don't know if it'll be enough. Do I play some other bodies? Or do I get my mana tower back down? Ooh. I think we get some bodies. Ah, crap. I should have played the hooks instead of that, because I still need to save one for this crypt to trade this, or I just automatically lose. Alright, well, those zombies, he's going to get a lot of zombies. Alright. Whew. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Real tight. Oh no! That's... Oh no, I wasn't expecting the burst. Wasn't expecting the burst play. Shit! That might be it. Alright, is there anything... Would rusty hooks have made the difference? No, he wouldn't. And I think he might get me. Yeah, that circle of life. Like, if I'd have had the... If it had gone as planned and I had the initiative, I would have been able to clear the one and then one-shot the Violroth, but I can't see a path to Violroth now. Because even if I did manage to kill a Screwman, it will still drop a... Yep, alright, he got me. He got the... I fell for a grave robbery trap early on, which set me back. And then he surprised me with his... matted in circle of life. Alright, so here's the only thing that can beat Tomb Zombies is another Tomb Zombie deck, text specifically to beat the mirror when I make some mistakes. Got it. Alright, well, that is our first loss with this deck to the mirror. Well done. Well done, Jay. You got me. Well, so, do we call the stream on a loss? And frankly, it's sort of a high point. Actually, losing with the deck is more exciting than winning at this point. Do we just call it a night here, or do we grab another game or two so we can end on a win? I am pretty fatigued, as you can see. I am getting sloppier and sloppier with every game, making little mistakes. Well, if there is no high demand for additional games, then we may just wrap it up there. It's been a great stream. We won 10-ish games and finally caught our first loss. Alright, well, thanks for stopping by, everyone. We'll see you all next Monday. Okay, Mindlord wants to get a game with me. Let's get him in. We'll spectate him, and then we'll grab a game with him. And that's how we'll wrap the stream up. Mindlord appears to be on his yellow-purple rats deck, which there is two main variations of. You've got the more good stuff rats with just a lot of strong buildings and a lot of Crusader support, or you've got the Eternity Swarm combo list, give or take Spirit Bomb. And he's up against the Tweakin' Circle of Life list. Circle of Life is what did me in last game. It is an incredible card. Oh yeah, absolutely. I always post my deck codes after featuring them. I can go ahead and post it in the stream chat here. It'll also be in the VOD descriptions. After this game with Mind Lord wraps up, I will post the deck code before I grab a game with him. Two Norabons, one Dracula, 3 Vileroths. Three Norabons feels like overkill, considering I have... Nah, Natty's not my jam. He's a cool card, but I don't like making larger decks. I did also just showcase the whole list at the beginning of the stream in detail. Alright, last game of the day. We'll grab with Mind Lord if he... And then we'll call it there. Alright, so as usual, we want to dig for our Storm and Crypts. We'll take Salahar Voyager. We don't want it, but it is better than no Storm. Okay, beautiful. We got our Cursed Vessel. No Crypt, but that's alright. Mind Lord has brought out his King Kaiju Ultra Rat deck. Oh, definitely got a bit of an awkward hand this game. No turn 1, no turn 3, no Crypt, but hey, we got our turn 2 Storm, and that's the most important thing. We can always get some extra mana. So definitely going to punch the castle with one of these. Yeah, may as well. Smack the bard once here. Time to grab our mana since we've got nothing else to do with it. Perhaps I should have focused on killing the Pat Bard before he had a chance to get any rats down, but oh well. Feeling that fatigue, getting sloppy. Yep. That was definitely a small mistake on my part there. Should have killed that bard. Given, I think Rat King was going to be big enough to kill a crewman anyways. Well, looks like Voyager's our only real viable play this turn. King Kaijus definitely do give him a chance. Alright, I still get to kill the Fat Bard, I'm happy. And we'll kill the Rat King for good measure as well. Yeah, letting those rats get that bard buff, I am definitely getting punished for. Alright, let's see here. It looks like it might just be another Salahar turn. Solid card, can't really go wrong with it. The other option is Banshee and Curse, but yeah, I'm feeling Salahar. I don't have a Crypt down, so Cursed Vessel is not as valuable right now. Alright, so I guess first let's go kill that Mana Tower. And second, let's clean up this rat, but keep ourselves out of reach of that Assault Tower. Okay. Honor of the Fallen will go well alongside Cursed Vessel and Banshee. We'll start just trying to clean up his structures a bit here before he does, well, that. Alright, so Honor of the Fallen, see what we draw. Okay, we may just go for a double Vessel instead of the Banshee. Now let's go for the Banshee so we can clean off a rat this turn. Ah, he's using the Tombstone against me here. Good for him. But yeah, I think we will just go ahead and clean up this Sushi Shack. Not ideal, but not bad. That altar's definitely getting in some serious work. And I'm going to need to find myself a Dracula or a Drain Life fairly quick here, or I could be in trouble. Could start the Vileroth March, but I think I'd rather get Norabon down, because I do have a Tombstone on the field, plus an active Honor of the Fallen going. Alright, let's trade here. See if we can get 2 Tombstones before we Norabon. Alright, yep. Looks like we'll get a very high value Norabon here. Not as good as it could have been, but still solid. It's working on cleaning up these buildings now. Well, we are approaching King Kaiju turn, so me getting this aggressive with Norabon may not be my best plan, but I've got the Vileroth March coming. not quite big enough to kill that now. That's alright. Big boy Valoroth's coming. Not much to be done about him. Especially since I'm on initiative. I do believe that'll be it. Hey, there's Crypt. Alright, so let's see. We'll save enough gold for Drain Life and Norabon, so that's 4, leaving us with 3 to spare. Let's drop a vessel. We'll call that good. There's the king, but he's going to be just a little bit too late, unfortunately. Because I can just pull this zombie out of the way and swoop in for the kill. Alright, well, good games. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. I will catch you all next time.